Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So all eyes on the CPI data later on in the American session after gold has had another bit of a sell-off on its yellow metal value. We've seen in the last few trading sessions when I last reported on gold that we were looking at this V-shaped recovery to the downside for bears back down to 1900, but will that come into fruition? Well, we're seeing year on year a slight uptick of 3.3% from 3% on the inflation data. So that will that have any move on the dollar as well? It's looking likely that it has already been priced in because we've had this inflation really starting to come down, even though in Europe and other parts of the world we are still having high inflation. So America really is in the driving seat for rate hikes and inflation data. But is it going to come to an end in this time around? We've had nearly 12 months of decline on inflation. If you remember, this time last year we were at 9.1%, a 40-year high in inflation in America. But as you can see, with the Fed's really aggressive interest rate hike policy that it's been implementing since last year, we've had inflation really being tamed and really been pushing lower. So what's going to be in store for the news, and where can we see gold and the dollar going for in this small section from where we have the news release? Well, as I said just now, we were just seeing this recovery to the downside. Obviously, if you're bearish in this particular market, gold is starting to move down. We've cracked pretty much the 1930 handle, which we were hovering around for a few days in this particular area. But as you can see here, trading towards 1920, hitting below that actually before bouncing higher. So where do you see this going? Well, you know, we did have some firm support at 1900 before we had this move of $80 to $90 back to the upside, and then we've actually started collapsing as well. So haven't really got any RSI or oscillators, MACDs on the chart today. Just wanted to simply see price action and where we could see it start moving as well. So 4-hour chart, as you can see here, very predictable market in the last few trading sessions. We are seeing just wave after wave of this continuation to the downside. We are expecting, as I said, another test at 1900. Whether or not we will get firm support or a crash through that will remain to be seen. But if we just pull these chart back a little bit more, we haven't really seen a breakthrough 1900 since March, but even that was a propellant to the upside. So, you know, we are seeing now what is the reality in the metal market and where we'll be going from here. And speaking of the metal market, we'll just have a quick look on silver as well. One market I haven't covered for a couple of weeks, just due the fact that we've had so much going on with the dollar and obviously gold as well. So since we had this firm double top not so long ago, we have had quite a bit of a subdued silver. We did have a failure to test this particular area again, roughly about the $26 mark, because prices did start falling lower, a little bit like in the same way gold did as well. So silver market is really going in the way of gold at the moment, but because we just didn't test this, didn't come into a triple top situation, we are seeing now that the market is a little bit subdued and prices are expected once again to start testing the last support that we saw roughly about the lower end of the $22 area. So this is what we're looking at the moment. If we look on the 4-hour chart as well, just seeing some intraday movement. As you can see here, we're just waiting now for another move to the downside, and then we can possibly start testing the previous support area. So it's just not really that far to go, but obviously with the American session opening not so shortly, we could see quite a bit of a flip on the gold metal market itself, and also the dollar as well. So just keep an eye out for the big moves in the market. Obviously, as I said, from 3% to 3.3% year on year, it's not so much in the way of a big move. However, is confidence being lost in the American economy? Is a recession on the horizon? And has this soft landing firmly stopped? We'll have to wait and see, but join me again next time around. We'll go through all the market scenarios and obviously the news events to see what is in store. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.